Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at how the redistricting war of 2025 and will likely pour into 2026 will affect the 2026 United States House of Representatives elections. You see here I've already filled in most of the map that is going to be uncontested and will be affected by redistricting. So I'm going to fill in all these seats that are pretty swing by my current prediction. So this is also a mini prediction video, but I'm not going to fill in any of the ones that are currently going to be targeted by redistricting in California, Texas, North Carolina, Utah, Ohio, and then we're going to look at some other states that are likely going to redistrict on call sheet. You see here they have a betting market, and you see here Ohio, North Carolina, California, Texas, Utah, and you also have Virginia likely to redistrict, although it's not a done deal yet like these other ones. And we're also going to look at Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, all of that stuff. So let's get into this video. We're just going to pretty quickly fill in all of these seats. Maine second, I'm going to put in a lean Republican. That's a flip, mainly because incumbent Democrat Jared Golden is retiring, and he's really the only Democrat that could win in this district. New York, you have Mike Lawler in New York's 8th, I believe. No, sorry, 17th. The 8th is that one. But New York 17th, Mike Lawler, he wins by lean Republican. Tom Schwazi and Lori Gillen win by lean Democrat on Long Island. I honestly think they win by around the same margins that they did back in 2024. In New Jersey, I believe Tom Keene Jr. will win by lean Republican. In Pennsylvania, all three of these districts are very, very swing. Republicans only won them by less than 2 points. I believe Scott Perry's district will flip Democrat by lean Democrat. Ryan McKenzie's district, I think McKenzie just barely holds on. And he barely loses, and Bresnahan just barely holds on. McKenzie loses by tilt Democrat, and Bresnahan wins by tilt Republican. Down in Virginia, there could be redistricting here, but I'm just going to fill in the map right now. I believe Eugene Vindman, he wins by lean Democrat, probably by 4.5. Jen Kickens, she loses. This was a very close district in 2024, and she only flipped it in 2022 anyways. She loses it by lean Democrat. It could, honestly, I think it could be because the Democrat that lost and Kickens replaced in 2022, Elaine Loria, she could run again. And I mean, you look here, 2026, the Democrats, but yeah, she is running again. And Democrats, they don't have that many big candidates. I think Loria easily wins a primary. I mean, she has name recognition in this district. It goes lean Democrat. She wins by 3 points, I'd say. North Carolina, I'm not going to fill that in because that's a redistricting district. Same with Texas. And also Ohio. But we're going to go to Michigan. You have two districts here. Michigan, the first one is a Detroit suburb district. You have John James. He's retiring from Congress and running for governor, where he could win. That's going to be pretty close. He won by 6 points in 2024. I think whoever replaces him, let's look here, is probably going to win by 2 points, 3 points maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Mike Bishop is, I think if he runs, he probably would win. Or Rocky Rexowski, because you don't have that many big candidates right now. So that's going to lean Republican. And this one was a flip in 2024. Tom Barrett's district, Michigan 7th, he flipped from, because Alyssa Slotkin retired for Senate, so he flipped it against Curtis Hurdle Jr. Democrats, they are probably going to run Bridget Brink. She's a favorite in this primary. She was the ambassador to Ukraine under the Biden administration. So that's going to go, I think she wins by lean, no, I'll say tilt Democrat, because Barrett did win by like quite a few points, 3.6, I believe. 3.7. The next district is going to be in Wisconsin, where Democrats are going to see another flip. Derek Van Orden's seat, and I believe that will go lean Democrat, honestly. I think Democrats nominate Rebecca Cook again, because there aren't many Democratic candidates, so I think they're just going to go the same candidate they did in 2024. She came close anyways. Then we're going to go to the state of Iowa. You have two districts. I think both of them will go lean Democrat. You see here in 2024, Marionette Miller Meeks, she only won by 0.19%. And that actually wasn't even her closest race. In 2020, she only won by 0.0015%. So then Republicans in Iowa had to redistrict to save her. And then Zach Nunn, he only won by 3.8%. A similar margin to Tom Barrett in that Michigan district. I think actually Nunn loses by 0.4%, and Meeks loses by 3.7%. I think Nunn would lose to Democrats. I think they're going to run Jennifer Converse. Although we saw polls from Sarah Trongaria, although it was a internal, she was beating Nunn by 13%. Either of these candidates would probably beat him by in the general election. And Marionette Miller Meeks, Democrats are probably going to run the same candidate they did in 2024, and that is going to be Christina Bohannon. So that's 2 flips for Democrats in Iowa. Next one is going to be in the state of Nebraska. Nebraska's second. This is a Democratic district, but Republican Don Bacon has been able to win this one time and time again, although he is retiring in 2026, which means it is almost a certain Democratic flip, and we're probably going to see a blue wave in 2026 as well. Republicans are probably going to nominate Bren Lindstrom, and Democrats are probably going to nominate John Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh would probably win by 3 or 4%, if not likely Democrat. But I'm just putting it there because this is a Republican seat right now. Then we go to Colorado, where you have 2. You have a district that flipped from Democrat Yadira Caraveo. In 2024, Gabe Evans flipped it. Democrat Yadira Caraveo is not running, and you're actually seeing a pretty competitive primary. You have Manny Rutinel, a anti-Israel, anti-establishment progressive Democrat, going up against Dave Young, the state treasurer. Obviously, Rutinel, he is a more local figure, as his state representative district is in this House district, but Dave Young, he is a statewide figure because not all of the district is in Rutinel's state rep district, and you also do have another state rep running, but Rutinel has picked up some support, although not as large of support compared to some other Democratic Socialist Progressive candidates in primaries, such as Kat Abu Ghazala or Abdul El Sayed, just to name a few. Honestly, this is still an open primary. We'll have to see. We'll see. You look at the polling. Yadira Caraveo would have won, honestly, and would have done better electorally among against any of these candidates. Against Gabe Young. Sorry, no, not Gabe Young, Gabe Evans, compared to any of these candidates, Dave Young or Manny Rutinel, but she opted not to run. So, I'm putting that one into a flip lean Democrat. Honestly, I think Rutinel or Young would be able to do fine against Gabe Evans in a blue wave. I think they would win by 3.5%. Now, Colorado's third, Jeff Hurd, he is running for re-election. Democrats, they don't have that many good candidates, and for that reason, I'm going to say he holds on by lean Republican by 3 points. Now, let's go to the state of Arizona, where you have 2 pretty competitive districts, and the first one is near Phoenix. David Schweikert. He only won by 3.8 points in 2024, and he is actually not running for re-election. He is running for governor, and that is a really stupid move, because even though he wouldn't even be a favorite against a Democrat if he ran for re-election, he has no chance of winning the Republican primary for governor to go up against incumbent Democrat Katie Hobbs, and I don't think Andy Biggs or Karen Taylor Robson would beat Katie Hobbs in the general right now anyways. So Republicans, they're probably going to nominate the chair of the Arizona GOP, who really sucks, honestly, Gina Swoboda. Honestly, I would really prefer if Schweikert just drops out from governor and runs for re-election. That would be in his best interest as well. Matt Gress, he is also probably going to run. We'll see if he beats Swoboda. Honestly, I think he would in the primary. Democrats, they are probably going to nominate Amish Shah, the candidate for this district in 2024, and I think he would win by 3 points. Actually, no, by 2 points. And the other district was actually closer in 2024, but this one's going to be less of a win for Democrats. I'm putting it until Democrat because this incumbent is actually running for re-election, and that is Juan Ciscomani. He won by 2.5 points in 2024. Democrats are probably going to nominate Joanna Mendoza to be the opponent against Ciscomani this time around. And I'm going to put this district into tilt Democrat, like I said. And now Democrats at 217, just one away from a majority without even including these redistricting districts. Now we're going to go to the state of Washington, where Marie Glueson Perez is running for re-election. And she won by 3.9%. Honestly, this might go likely Democrat, but this district can't get any more blue, honestly. MGP is just such a good candidate. I think she wins by 4.7%. And that's it for the Democrats, excluding redistricting. We're going to go to Alaska and put that district into lean Republican. This one flipped in 2024. Nick Begich defeated incumbent Democrat Mary Peltola. Peltola, honestly, probably she won't run for this seat. Instead, she's going to probably go for Senate in 2026. So that leaves kind of a pretty clear path for Nick Begich to win re-election here. So lean Republican. And now we're left with 15 seats that are probably going to flip or are being targeted in the redistricting war going on right now. Actually, there are a couple. This one is just going to be lean Democrat. It's not going to be flipped due to redistricting, although it is getting bluer due to redistricting. That is the very close district that Adam Gray flipped in 2024 by very, very close. How many votes was that? Yeah, very close. Less than 200 votes separated him and incumbent Republican John Duarte in 2024. So Democrats felt like they needed to make this district a tad more blue just to get rid of any risk of them losing the seat. So now we're going to look at redistricting. We already see here that Democrats have a majority. They have 219 seats. 218 is a majority. But we're going to look here, right? So right now, what redistricting is doing, you see California. The first district is likely to be safe Democrat. In 2024 was safe Republican. Incumbent Republican Doug LaMalfa won by 30 points in the first district in 2024. Kevin Kiley in the third district, he won by 11 points. This seat is now likely to be likely Democrat. You see here, David Valadao, he won by 6.8% in 2024. This seat is likely going to be around, I think it's going to lean Democrat right now. And down here, you see Ken Calvert's seat. He won by 3.4% in 2024. And actually, no, this seat's safe Republican. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, wait, no. No, this seat's, safe Republican. This seat's safe Democrat. But Ken Calvert's seat, this one, the 41st district, it now is really into Los Angeles. So that makes Ken Calvert's seat, where he only won by 3.4% in 2024, very safe Democrat. And the final seat being likely flipped in 2026 due to redistricting in California is Darrell Isa's seat, the 48th. He won by 18.6% in 2024. It is now likely Democrat. So that would make, with California, that would make the map 224 for Democrats, 202 for Republicans. We're to move to Utah now, and a court order made Utah not separate Salt Lake City. Before, they separated Salt Lake City 4 ways to make all of those seats very Republican, but now you look here, on the FMS, Salt Lake City is one single seat now, and Democrats will win it by safe Democrat. So that's Salt Lake City for you. We go down to Texas. They targeted 5 seats right now. A federal court ordered this map to be unconstitutional, but it will still likely be in effect because it's going to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is likely, extremely likely, going to be able to pass this map. And right now, Justice Samuel Alito actually maintained this map, and it is actually still in effect until the Supreme Court had a decision. So even if the federal court said it was unconstitutional, until and unless the Supreme Court justifies it as unconstitutional. This map would still be in effect. They targeted 5 seats. Greg Casar's district now looks like this. It is now likely Republican. It was safe Democrat before. Julie Johnson's district is also likely Republican now. They extended it into these very rural areas. And now she's even considering not running for re-election in that specific district. This district is also safe Republican. Al Green's district, he won by safe Democrat in 2024. And then these 2 districts held by Vincent Gonzalez and Henry K.R. In 2024. KR is facing corruption charges, but he could honestly still win. And Gonzalez, they didn't make these districts too Republican, so honestly, I would think that Democrats could probably still win these seats by lean Democrat. So with Texas, that makes Democrats at 227 and Republicans at 205. So now we go to the state of North Carolina. They targeted 1 seat here. Pretty simple. Don Davis's seat, which was also really close in 2024. He only won by 1.7%. They made these seats more Republican. Actually, no, less Republican to make this seat Republican. Because you see all of these seats are really safe Republican. Now this seat, there's, likely Republican in North Carolina's first. Don Davis is likely going to lose re-election. And now the final one is going to be in the state of Ohio. They kind of expanded the Democratic majority for Amelia Sykes' seat. That was pretty close in 2024. She only won by 2.2. But you see here they really heavily targeted Marcy Kaptur's seat, Ohio's 9th. She only won by 0.63 in 2024. This seat is likely going to go lean Republican. And they also targeted Greg Landsman's seat. He won by 9.2% in 2024. Now he is only up by 3 or 2. So I would say a lean Democratic result in the 9th district. So this is what the map looks like, including redistricting with my prediction. Democrats 228, Republicans 207. So even if you got rid of redistricting, because we look here, due to redistricting, you have +5. And honestly, I think Valadez would still win without redistricting in California. So +4 in California. For Democrats, +1 in Utah for Democrats, so that's 5, +3 for Republicans in Texas, +1 for Republicans in North Carolina, and +1 in Ohio. So that's 5 to 5 flips. So it balances out anyways. So it'd still be 228 to 207. So either way, Democrats are going to be able to win 228 seats to 207 seats, 21 more than Republicans. But I want to check something out here. Redistricting in other states and how that will affect the map. So we see here the top one that hasn't been included yet because it's not done yet is Virginia. They want to go, currently their delegation without redistricting, in my prediction, is how many Democrats is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 6 Democrats. Is that? No, that's 1, 2. No, Virginia has 11 districts, so right now in Virginia we gave them 1 flip, so Democrats will be 7 to 4. They want to go 10 to 1. I think 9 to 2 is a more plausible scenario. So that would mean only leaving this district, Democrats would have this many seats. So I would say it would be kind of like that. So that would expand the Democratic margin to 231. Actually, no, I said 2 seats. So 230 to 205. So that is a 25 seat. So flipping 2 of the remaining 4 Republican seats in the state of Virginia. And then that's Virginia. But then if we included Virginia, there would likely be some more counteraction. So we're going to look at Florida. They're at 81%, which is pretty high. Florida, they said they were going to target at least 3 Republican seats and at max 5. Sorry, not the Republican, Democratic seats. So we're going to put 4 Democratic seats into Republican. So we see here that this is probably going to go Republican. This one could easily go Republican. And then, sure, I guess this one could go Republican. So this would probably be the map if this happened. So that would be 3 gains. Oh, sorry, no, we're going to go 4. So this one could go Republican as well. So that would be 4 gains for Republicans in the state of Florida. So that would make the Democratic majority go from 230 to 226, and Republicans go from 206 to 209. So Democrats would still be up by 17. So we move down again on this list, I guess. We go to Louisiana. They're actually also pretty likely. But this one, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, they could get rid of 1 Democratic seat without even having to get rid of the Voting Rights Act. Because if the Rights Act was actually got rid of in the Supreme Court, then it would be a complete nuclear war for redistricting. California could do a complete Democratic map. These southern states could get rid of all of their, or most of their, like 90% of their Democratic districts. It would be complete chaos. But we're not going to look too far into that. But Republicans, they could flip 1 Louisiana seat without any trouble anyways. So that would be probably the map in Louisiana if they did it. And now everything else is below 50%. But Indiana, I mean, they could still do it. And I don't know why Missouri's so low. Missouri actually is probably favored. I don't know what's happening on call sheet. Not too much money has been betted anyways. But we're also going to look at Indiana and Missouri. So we see here that Missouri, they would flip the 1 out of their 2 Democratic seats. It would be the one near Kansas City, Emmanuel Cleaver's seat. So that would make the map probably like this. That would be 1 flip for Republicans in Missouri. And then the final one would be Indiana. Republicans, they face some roadblocks from some more moderate Republican senators. And not even moderate, just ones that want to, like, not redistrict. So they actually want to target a 9-0 map for Republicans here. That would leave no Democratic seats. They currently have 2 Democratic seats in the state of Indiana. This one would be pretty easy. This one they could do also pretty easily, but I'm not sure if they want to compromise with the Republican senators who do not want to redistrict. It's probably going to be 8-1, but if they did want to do another one, that would probably look like this. But if they actually did want to remove this Indianapolis district from being blue, that would mean that most of these seats will be like within 15 points of being Republican. So in a very big blue wave, you could have several Republican seats flipping in Indiana. But yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at here. This would be honestly, at this point, this would be the extent of redistricting I would see. On top of the states we've seen so far, California, Texas, North Carolina, Utah, and Ohio, that's 5. Redistricting, you would add on, I believe, 4 more states. 5 more states: Florida, Virginia, Louisiana, Missouri, and Indiana. So we added that. That goes. So the Democratic majority before, with only the current redistricting, will be 228 to 207. But now it is 222 to 213. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please consider to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.